Hello and welcome back to the cronecast at the Rising Moon. Hey guys, on this channel I put up Logical Magic Examining Esoterica's video versions. That's my podcast. Please don't forget to look for it. I also do pick-a-cards, and this is a pick-a-card about one of the more difficult subjects that we face, which is why did they ghost? So we're going to be talking about why did they block me or why did they ghost me? And those are the two questions that I've kind of had in mind, the intention that was set for this. We have 4 piles in a pick-a-card. Take a moment, see which pile really kind of stands out to you. You'll have a moment here with the cards just to concentrate on them, and that is the message that you are most meant to receive. The only other note I would like to add is that it is possible this won't solely be about romantic relationships, although I did actually approach it from the standpoint of having been ghosted by somebody that you had had a very close relationship with. But it is possible that friendships or other situations may come through as well. I will see you at the time of your reading. Hi, welcome back. Hey, if you chose pile number 1, this is your reading. We're putting the number 1 over there so that people can easily fast forward to their readings. But there's always going to be timestamps in the description box down below. So we're getting started with the idea of why did they ghost? Why did they block me? And again, as I mentioned in the intro, it is possible that something other than a romantic relationship will come through here, but I did actually set the intention that it would likely have to do with romance. So that's what the intention is behind this. Before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe because it helps my channel. If you like the reading, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It does help my channel as well. It's one of the things that allows me to keep doing readings on YouTube. All right, let's get going here. Oh, and I have a Patreon that's linked below, and I also have a podcast, Logical Magic Examining Esoterica. There's all kinds of healing advice, particularly after difficult relationships. Let's get going here. Why did they ghost? Why did they ghost? Why did they ghost or why did they block? Why did they ghost or why did they block? Now, it is also possible that they did both. We have the Queen of Wands in the upright. Now, I'm not an astrological reader. This can mean a fire sign. It is more likely to be someone that they found very attractive. The Queen of Wands is a compelling and charismatic figure. So it was not because of any lack of attraction, apparently. We have the Chariot in the upright, which is a card of being pulled in 2 different directions. Now, we are doing a spirit guide spread on this one, by the way, which is 12 cards total. I have the Page of Wands in the upright, which is fire and passion. And, it's one of the cards for exciting new things. I have the 6 of Cups in the upright, which can be a relationship from the past or a past life connection. And then it comes out with the Page of Cups in reverse, which is an apology or a surprise. We've got the 5 of Swords in the upright, which is conflict. Give me one moment. The first thing that came through is that it had to do with someone from their past returning to their life. We have the 5 of Swords in the upright. We have the Queen of Pentacles in the upright, which is security and stability. It's like finding somebody, and there's that returning energy. Somebody from the past came back is what this looks like. With the Death card in reverse, which is closure on something. 9 of Swords in the upright, which is fears, anxiety, sometimes cruelty. We have the 4 of Wands in the upright, and then we have the Magician in reverse, which is unfortunately a card that can have to do with manipulation. So this appears to be a romantic connection. It looks like it had all the fire in the world. It really does. It looks like it was a good time was had by all in terms of your ability to connect on a passionate level. I do not get the sense that this person was deceiving you at any point. They may have been kind of deceiving themselves a little bit about whether or not something from their past was truly done. It does not appear to have been done. And it is possible that it was a fear about commitment that kept them from going forward, but it does have to do with the past. In at least one scenario here, it has to do with someone that they had children with, and that they just... I think they were almost indulging in a fantasy about being able to move on. So they were just called in a different direction on this. A lack of power over a connection as well. 4 of Wands can be children. Yeah, that's kind of what I felt on that one. And then we've got let go of control issues, and then soulmate. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Listen. It's a type of past life soulmate. So this particular person, the person that you were asking about, there's no like nastiness here. They didn't set out to deceive anybody. They didn't like, they thought that they were going to be able to move on from a situation that involves some of their own unhealed wounds, some of their own childhood situations. All the fire in the world there, but it looks like it almost like it scared them. It looked like it scared them, and then there are two scenarios present here. One is the physical manifestation of somebody from the past, and the other is some fears about commitment having to do with that particular relationship coming back to them as well. And it can be present in both situations, meaning that like the person could have come back and it brought back some fears, but they had not finished some work. I feel so drawn to you. This is the Hidden Truth card. And that I've absolutely got. We've got the Queen of Wands. Like that's the person who like, the Queen of Wands can get it. This is a compelling figure who attracts other people. There is an emotional component to this, but they just hadn't finished some work from a previous connection. And they weren't ready to, sometimes people think that they're ready to do something and they're just kind of not. They're just kind of not. And that's what I really get around this person. And they didn't know like how to tell you something, and unfortunately kind of the modern age makes it just a tiny little bit too easy to like, you know, just be like, okay, I'll just cut that off, I'll you know, sever the connection entirely, and eventually they'll understand. And people who ghost don't understand how very difficult it is to be, because it's almost impossible not to take it personally. But pile number one, what I'd really like you to hear is please don't take this personally. There really was, I'm in a committed relationship, and will he ever make things right? If this was a third-party situation, they have returned to the primary relationship because of some responsibilities. It's not about an emotional thing. Will you ever make things right? What I've got on this is, do I have any anticipation of contact going forward? Let's grab a different deck and see, do we have any idea of let go of control issues? You're being asked to let go. You're being asked to let go, not because of anything you did. And if your heart's really entangled, forgiveness is one of the ones that first came out. We've got decision, stay behind too. Decision and forgiveness. My advice on this one is I don't have a returning energy on this particular connection anytime soon. So I don't have it within the next, I want to say almost 2 years. Is it possible you would run into the person again or encounter them in different sets of circumstances? It does look that way. And then play hard. Find time to laugh, goof off, enjoy each other. Don't read these they have a slightly different meaning to me. With balance, one person is giving too much in this relationship, and then self-care. So pile number one, this is not nasty. This is not nasty. This is not anything you did. They did not, the good thing about this particular energy is I've got no intent to harm on the other person's side. Like they did not set out to use anybody or mislead them. They just weren't, I kind of want to say just weren't as free as they thought. They thought something from the past was done and it wasn't. And instead of apologizing, because they feel really, really drawn to you. It looks like you feel exceptionally drawn to them as well, that all the fire that you could ever need is there. But that the person, that's not enough to sustain a long-term relationship. Eventually it does burn out. And that they just weren't as free as they said they were. Or thought they were. Because there's an element to that too. Like this person's not out to hurt anybody. Like they do have contrition. They are sad. They are like, they're sorry about it. I'm going to be honest. It's something to do with stability in the lives of people that they care about. And it really may be children. There is at least one indication here that the internal conflict within, that they just kind of decided to go and be with a different person. Now, I know you've got this, like the soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. There's nothing here that indicates that this is your soulmate. This is just saying that let go of control issues and your soulmate will come to you. But I need you to understand something. Your soulmate is very unlikely to ghost you, very unlikely to block you. It just, if they do, then they've got a lot to heal, and it's best if you get on with your life while they heal their stuff, go out, have fun type of thing. But they had something from the past returning. let's talk a little bit about what was good about this, because there's good things on this table. There was a lot of passion. It's like you made them remember what it was like to be glad to be alive for a little bit, but then like their responsibilities just kind of caught up to them. And it doesn't, and I can be really, I'm not going to say hard on the people on the other side of these type of connections, but I'm like always looking for like what is their unhealed damage that might have caused them to do this. And it was just a belief that that it was a different time in their life than it was, that they could, I just want to say have cake and eat it too type of thing, that they wanted to both be this really responsible person, but then also have like a lot of passion. And they just didn't realize that the connection couldn't bear it. All right, we have confidence. That we did come out in reverse, by the way, which can be a lack of self-confidence in it. Safe travel. Okay. I just need you to banish a curse and then destiny on the back. Sometimes we are trying to resolve past life trauma and generational trauma that carries forward. You have, this is a romantic pairing. This is not a friendship. You do have a real soulmate. It's just allow the situation to unfold naturally. The person finds you when the time is right. But there was something, your love life is being affected by children. I felt that from the second this went down, that it's like this person just wasn't, they had an entanglement and an enmeshment issue with someone from their past, and it likely involved children. And that they just, if it helps you to know, like this is the thing that is going to wake them up and haunt them in the middle of the night in the years to come. This is the thing that like they just wish that their timing had been better, that the way that they had conducted themselves had been better. This is not a bad human being on any level, but they just weren't, they enjoyed the connection, but they weren't free of previous ones. Six of Cups is one of the cards for child support as well. All right, so we have kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. We're asking what's coming up for you. Let's see. Heartbroken, deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, mourning. In this type of connection, it looks like you were all in. And this person wanted to be, but just couldn't be. And that realistically, they were doing a little bit of running away from a problem. And then separation is the next one that came out. Sadness, missing you. Thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. And then the Sword and the Rose, which is clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. So, pile number one. Please stop taking this personally, and like, I understand how hard that is. That is one of the easiest things in the darn world to say, but it's like, yeah, when you've got this heartbroken energy, when you've got this, but why did they, it was good. Why did they run away? Why have they become avoidant? They had not resolved something from their past. And it has to do with a feeling of responsibility and security within this life. If there's a part of you that's wondering, are they going to reach out? Are they going to reach out? My sense on this is it is best to let this one go. Because even if they reach out, they're still a really confused person on the interior world. And that they're really drawn back to what appears to be some responsibilities towards dependent people. But that doesn't mean that like your life is put on hold. Just understand that there's nothing you did wrong. That there's nothing you could have done differently, that this person tried to rush a process and in doing so discovered all the things that they had yet to deal with. And it's just kind of simple. And they know it was a little bit cowardly, by the way. If you wonder if it's like, do they understand how bad this felt? They feel like a coward. They feel like a coward. And like, please, please, please don't like overinvest in what I'm about to say. They aren't the bravest person. And so and that is not to call them a coward. It means they're still dealing with their inner fears. They're still dealing with their inner fears about some things. So it's possible in this that it had to do with a toxic relationship that went bad, even though there are children, and they have fears about that energy returning. But because things exist in more than one dimension, we perceive the world from the 3D, but there are other dimensions present in absolutely everything. In some instances, it's literally the 3D person has come on back to their life. And are they achieving closure? The problem is that they never did. They had not achieved closure on something before they tried to move forward. They tried to distract themselves, is what it looks like, from a set of responsibilities that they were a little overwhelmed by. Major ending, new beginning. We're using the Higher Love Oracle. What else do we have for pile number 1? Pile number 1, please don't be disheartened. Your cards, your romance angels, now it's a little bit out in the future because of the progression of them, but they're saying let go and your soulmate can come to you. Just don't judge your worth by this person's actions. Like you're a person who, like, if you're thinking you imagined it, dude, you did not imagine this. There was like a really, really strong connection here. Particularly, it looks like passionately. But there was a battle they weren't done fighting within and potentially without as well. And they had responsibilities that they had to go and take care of. And because they didn't trust their willpower, is what it looks like. They did not trust their willpower. All right. Let's go ahead and see what else we can get here. Is there anything else? Pausing to reflect. Major ending, newer beginning. The only thing I would do is maybe do some attachment and then destructive behaviors. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, I would say that. And then soulmate on that. Be careful. This person is not your soulmate. They're not your soulmate. This was a karmic type of bond. Moderation and self-control. Yeah, that's why they did that. And then wishful thinking. I got that. And what does that mean? Wishful thinking is a difficult one because if you feel like, but I feel them thinking about me, I still feel that connection. It's the connection outside of the 3D that takes the longest to resolve. The easiest thing you can do is do healing frequencies for releasing cords, for releasing attachments. This does not look unhealthy to me. I think it was just disappointing. It looks like it was a disappointing connection overall. But the person just had unresolved business, and then they're not good at, like, they don't have the world's best willpower. And so they chose the path of least resistance by just terminating the connection, because apparently there was a serious chemical attraction, like a serious, like, we have passion for one another type of energies here. But they weren't emotionally free. And I think that's the easiest way I have of putting that, is they still had things that were going on. But I'd like you, pile number 1, to kind of hear the cards talking about, like, there is somebody for you. It's just, if somebody tries to leave you behind, probably let them. This one flew out. We have let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. And why would you want to do that? Because you never need to convince somebody to love you. If somebody isn't all in, let them go, because you deserve somebody who's all in. And this person had a foot in each land, is what it looks like. We have thorns. Weathering the challenges ahead will bring in a new and positive future. Let's take this guy from the top. Patience. Slow down, change your attitude, and clear your mind. Let this one go. Do some healing frequencies to try and release the connection. But I think you might have your self-worth just a little bit too wrapped up in this, because it felt like such a strong and a good connection. It was, but until we resolve our old energies, like, it comes back. It's called rebounding in the most common term, a rebound relationship. And they simply were trying to take a shortcut and around dealing with their old stuff, and it didn't work. And they are not the bravest soul. Like, they didn't know how to face you and tell you that they had not been, by the way, fully honest with themselves or with you about how resolved something from the past was, okay? Pile number 1, hey, I'm super sorry, but please pay more attention to the fact that, hey, real love is gonna come. But this one, stop taking responsibility for it. That person does have responsibilities in another area, and they have kind of a significant draw towards you, but they understand that they're not going to be able to commit to another person for a while because they have a problem with being able to be super attracted to somebody, but then they have trouble with emotional intimacy due to some inner fears and some work that they're doing in their own life. And I don't know how quickly they'll accomplish it, but I do know that the cards told you that to let go of control issues and that a soulmate would come to you. Okay. Sorry about the not fantastic outcome on that one, but please stop thinking that you could have done anything any differently. That person needs to be more honest with themselves about what was really going on in their life. Okay? That was your reading pile number 1. If you need to book me for a private reading, you can do so at therisingmoon.com exclusively. It's the only way to book me. I have a podcast, Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica, among other things that can help you learn how to get over heartache. And then I have a Patreon as well that contains Spirit Guide Weeklies and Spirit Guide Monthlies, where your spirit guides give you information about how to heal. Okay? Take care. Be well. Hi guys, welcome back. If you chose pile number 2, this is your reading. We're putting the number 2 over there so people can easily fast forward to their reading. There are always timestamps in the description box down below. For pile number 2, can you tell me why did they ghost or why did they block? Those are the central questions behind this particular pick a card. Hey guys, please don't forget to do things like subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. It helps my channel and allows me to keep doing readings on YouTube. If you want to book me for a private reading, you can do so exclusively through attherisingmoon.com. And I have a Patreon with weekly and monthly spirit guide reads as well that give healing advice, and that is also linked. But we're asking, why did they ghost? Why did they block? All right, 10 of Wands in the upright, an overburdened situation, stress, sometimes pushing too hard. We have the 7 of Cups in reverse, so it's something being like brought into reality, something leaving the world of fantasy and being in the 3D. I have the Sun in the upright, which is a healing energy. It can be a new baby. It can be, it is one of the cards for new babies. It's a very positive energy. With the Tower in reverse, which is grounding, starting over again. And I have the 4 of Pentacles in the upright, which is being on your guard, being too self-protective. We have the Hierophant in the upright. That is the card of traditional marriage, by the way. Can be the card of therapy, however. I have the Devil in the upright, which is a card of addiction sometimes. Sometimes it's materialism. Sometimes it's lust. It's not all bad. Like sometimes it's passion and wonderful things. But the Devil can also be a card of codependency and substance abuse. I have the Wheel of Fortune in the upright, which is karma. There's a karmic relationship, apparently. With the 2 Cups in reverse, which is a relationship that is not serving you sometimes, and then the Queen of Pentacles, which is anxiety. So listen, there's almost no, like they can't face the reality of a real connection at this particular time. As something gets more real, they have a tendency to withdraw into self. They appear to be like open to talking to others, like getting some counsel and therapy about their, like they've got issues around connection. They may have some substance abuse issues, but it looks like it's pretty much in control at this particular time. 10 of Pentacles, security in the upright, and then the King of Pentacles as well. And then they have some kind of work stress situation where they got pretty overwhelmed. This is one of the cards for overwhelm. They got overwhelmed by the reality of what they were undertaking, and they withdrew. And if you're thinking, well, shouldn't I do some work to like convince them? Please don't ever try and convince somebody to go ahead and be with you. For real. Like you're worth somebody making the commitment without you like having to force the issue. They have an unhealed heart space on some things, and they're not quite ready to be moving forward on things, and they are prioritizing, it looks like, either education or career, or potentially both. It's just that they're more into they're not looking for their soulmate right now. They're looking for their financial security, for rebuilding something in their own lives. Let's check the messages of love on this. This is such a mundane reason. Like they just didn't have the time to dedicate to a relationship in the way that it would be required to keep going on something. I need to hear something though. They've done this before. Now, is it a repeating pattern over and over again? I don't think it's a repeating pattern over and over again, but it is it's what they reach for. It's what they do. They frequently, when if somebody starts asking for more than they have to give at a particular point or expecting more than they have to give, they just turn around and walk away. They've got like 6 people in the background that I can tell. Now, does that mean they're seeing 6 people? No, it does not. What it means is that this is a repeating pattern for them, and that they just aren't, they haven't healed a lot of things that make them be so self-protective that unfortunately sometimes they can be pretty unkind to other people in not thinking about how it feels to them. All right, I have different pages and then support. You and this person don't share the same vision. Lean on your inner circle during this time. We have stability. This relationship can stand the test of time. These paragraphs do not have meaning. I am a keyword reader. Different pages, support and stability. I very much get a male energy on this, is far more focused on earthly security at this particular time. Job, career, education, like they're, here's what I really got on this person. They have connections with people currently that it's like going out for ice cream, where they know it's a treat, where they know they can't really make a meal out of it. But the only thing that's troubling me about this person is that they're not super honest about that part with other people, potentially because they're not really honest with them themselves. Release your inner rebel, be yourself, and create your own universe. The cards are a little bit on the like, hey, let this one go. This person is not as emotionally involved as they need to be. And if you're taking this personally at all, please do not take this personally. This person simply has work that they have not accomplished. And the sooner you let go of somebody who has not, like, they're too focused on what this world tells us to do, which is make money and achieve things, and they think that will bring them lasting happiness, and it won't. And they are not capable at this current time of being able to connect with somebody because it's not their priority. Their priority is more about what other people think of them. It's an interesting one. We have a difficult path is being revealed. Ask for help and learn that we are all connected. So, okay, we're going to do one more on this one. What do we got? Awaken the magic of your creativity. Immerse yourself in the world of feelings. That's a processing card. The like just kind of forgiveness was also, by the way, forgiving yourself or another will help you move forward. I'm getting a little bit of a move on type of energy, but not in that like heartless way. Here's the thing, pile number 2, I do not get the sense that you're in love with this person. You just don't understand what happened. You're like, what did I do? What did I not do? They seemed like they were enjoying this. Like I said, there's a whole group of people who could be like, yeah, they did that to me too. Like they went out with me for 4 months and I never heard from them again. This person is repeating that pattern, and this world just makes it just that tiny bit too easy for them to engage in that behavior. They do not have a personality disorder as near as I can tell. They're not like a hidden abuser. It's just, it's so normalized in this culture to really focus so much on doing things like making money and providing for security. They think they're being responsible. They think they're being responsible. Let go. Make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. Hey, I'm super sorry. I know the cards are like, it's so easy for tarot card readers, for people doing stuff on the other side of this to be like, let go, let go. Rejection is God's protection. It's easy enough to say, but I am aware that it's just, it's like having a crater in your heart. It's like, what do you mean let go? I really had hopes around this person. If you hear nothing else from this was the wrong person to invest those hopes in. Because they are very much in the 3D energy of how much security does it bring me? How much will this investment yield? How much, they're just so brass tacks about, it's not about love for them currently. Now, will it ever be? I just don't know. They're very guarded in their heart space. And like I said, they value money over valuing people, which is something that I see very frequently. Confession. Someone has something to tell you, and then we have spy. Someone has their eye on you. See, I think that's you watching them, honestly. I genuinely do. What we got? Distance. All right. And we have air sign as well. Hey, so listen. If you're trying to figure out what went on with this person, or what they do, or why, how did I make this happen? You did not make this happen. This is how this person handles their current relationships. And like, this is not a super spiritual one that we're doing here. This is not somebody who's dealing with their inner world or resolving their shadow side, or they're very much functioning in this 3D world, and they just don't have the same vision. like I said, these little paragraphs rarely have any meaning, but this is the one to please understand. I know it's hard to be, well, it feels very personal. It personally hurt me. It personally made me question myself. It personally made me doubt my own worth. Please do not doubt your own worth. This person has an incorrect view of what worth really is in this world. And what you need to understand is when somebody has this energy where they're way too focused on money and security and how other people think of them, that what will really happen to them is the universe will bring them some lessons about, like, hey, yeah, money's great and everything. Why don't I just present you with 5 different emotional situations where somebody who's truly loyal and cared about you and viewed themselves as a real partner instead of an acquisition would have really benefited you. Too bad you threw so many of those potentials away. And that is the sort of thing that will come to this particular individual. But they're very guarded. Their money, this is the miser's card. They're very focused on achievement and success and material goods. And their heart space is just a little closed down. And like I said, they really feel like since they're not really mistreating people, they're not doing anything wrong. But this is the way they handle things when it gets a little bit too close to them. Let it go. Whoa. All right. So the cards are very much on the, hey, listen, celebrate. And then we have choice with change on the back. So why am I giggling about the celebrate? I know you do not believe me on this one. If you're watching this reading, there was a part of you that's like, this was confusing and painful, and why did it happen? This person does not have a normal heart space currently. They only have room for, they're in a very ego-driven place, because that's one of the reasons, that's another meaning of the Devil card. They're just in kind of an ego-driven place. You didn't do a thing wrong. But I don't know if it would help you to understand is you could literally get together a group of people who are like, they did that to you too? Yeah. And it's like clockwork. It's like clockwork for them. They just do this. And please don't make it about your worth, because they just don't value people properly at this stage of their life. And will they ever? It's hard to tell. We have emotions are at their peak. The chalice, rejuvenation and fulfillment. Take this one as a lesson. Take this one as a lesson. And move forward. Hindrance. Fate has blocked this path for you. So this person is not emotionally available. And that's why they ghosted. That's why they blocked. They have an entire world that they have shut themselves down to within, because it's just not their priority at the present time. And the only thing that you really need to hear from this is you could have been the best and the most perfect and the sexiest and the greatest and the funniest and they would not have been worthy of you, because they do not understand the worth of that in another person at this time in their life. It is nothing you did and everything that they are incorrectly valuing in this world. And it can be so hard when your heart gets engaged. But please understand that these cards are saying, oh, this really is one of the rejection is divine protection ones, which it can happen. This person has a positively chilly heart space from that read. And it's simply because they weren't valuing the wrong things. And will they come to have regrets when they're older? I really think so. But at this particular point, it's kind of like they've got the it's a dog-eat-dog world type of mentality. And they're just being a little bit callous towards people that they connect with, because it's easier for them. And I'm super sorry. I know that's painful. But take all that love that you want to give and give it to yourself. And understand that nobody who's really valuable in your life would have left you hanging like that. You never deserve to be treated like that. And there's a whole world of people who would never do that. But this particular person has not only done it to you, they've done it before. According to my cards, they're going to do it again. Okay? Don't take it personally, even though it hurts so personally. It had nothing to do with your worth. It has to do with their inability to understand true worth. Okay, so that was your reading, pile number 2. I'm sorry it was a slightly painful one. I anticipate none of these being like super yippee yay, but that one was a little hard because that person's just closed down in their heart space because they're valuing the wrong things. Don't take this personally. Take it as the gift of freedom from somebody who never would have valued you at the level you deserve to be valued at. Okay? You need to book me for a private reading. You can do so at therisingmoon.com exclusively. It's the only way to book me. I have a podcast called Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica. It's linked in the description box down below. And I also have a Patreon where you can get weekly advice on healing and monthly in the Spirit Guide Weekly and in the Spirit Guide Monthly. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay guys, welcome back. If you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. I'm putting the number 3 over there so people can easily fast forward to their readings. And we are using the Guardian of the Night Tarot for your predictive cards. Let's get going for pile number 3. Why did they ghost? Why did they block? That is the question at hand. Guys, before I get started, please don't forget to do things like subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. It helps my channel. It makes it possible for me to keep doing these types of readings on YouTube. If you want to book me for a private reading, you can do so exclusively through attherisingmoon.com. And you can also find my podcast video versions here on this particular channel. It is Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica. Let's get going here. 6 Cups in reverse, which is childhood issues sometimes. It's shadow work as well. We're asking why they ghosted. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the upright, which is the slow and steady progress, the routine energy. I can't help but notice that that one has a donkey on it, which kind of makes a lot of sense to me, by the way. I have the 8 of Cups in the upright, a returning energy. 7 of Pentacles in the upright, a trust the process energy. With the Page of Swords in the upright. So by the way, it looks like you are the first pile this is going to hold true to. Looks like there is going to be, like they will return at some point. You will hear from them again. So why did they ghost in the first place? Man, they have an inner world that is very complicated. It is very complicated. Like they go, it's like they withdraw into self very deeply when they're overwhelmed. We have the 3 of Cups in reverse, which can be a third-party situation. Not all third-party situations are equal. They may still be dealing with a feeling of isolation is what it feels like more. They self-isolate when they're going through something. This could be a friendship or a romantic relationship, but this one is the first pile that, like, there's more to come here. Ace of Wands in the upright, new beginnings. Death in the upright, another new beginning card with an owl on it, which is a message card. 6 of Swords in reverse, which is a making amends energy on this one. The 4 of Pentacles in the upright, which is self-protection, being very guarded. So the person, and again, I have no indication of this, whether or not this is a romantic relationship or not. But they withdraw into self. It's just how they process. It's how they do their thing. Then they will come back. Because I have no emotional connotation on this one, if it's a friendship, like understand that this is a part of them. They may just have, it may be how they deal, it may be how they cope. I have the 3 of Pentacles in the upright, and then the 9 of Swords in reverse, which is putting fears to rest. Pile number 3, you are the first pile where there's something more to come on this one. But if you're wondering, like, why did they block me? Why did they ghost me? What's going on? What did I do? You didn't do anything. This is part of who they are. Like, this is a coping skill. Is it a great coping skill? It's not a great coping skill, but it is their coping skill. We're going to get the talisman deck over here as well. Here we go. What else do I have? Can you give me an Endure fortune cards? What's going on with them? They have an inner world that they don't really know how to deal with. And so they withdraw. It's like they are not hiding underneath the bed, but like they don't even like to be seen by other people when they're really working on their stuff. Like they may have a slight tendency towards agoraphobia because they really, really withdraw into self. We got the Siren, a temptation may lead you astray. We have the Golem, close friend acts on your behalf. It's feeling like that, by the way. With the Fire, reckless actions lead to conflict, and then the Stars, a long journey brings rewards. Listen, this one is super not complicated. They have an interior world that they did not learn how to cope with other than to like hide themselves when they were a kid. And so when they've got too much going on, whether it's stress, whether it's anxiety, whether it's fear, they self-protect by withdrawing from people. And is it a super healthy coping mechanism? No, it's not. But like, don't take it personally. Like this person's never out to hurt someone, and it's part of the reason that they withdraw. They withdraw. They're not somebody who actually wants help with their stuff. Not everybody does. Some people really master their own inner world, and like that's how they cope. And that's what's going on with this person, is that they got too much going on. Something from the past was bugging them. They started to feel really insecure about something. It's nothing you did. This pile number 3, please listen to me on this. This is nothing you did. You didn't do a darn thing. There's nothing going on here that like you should, and if it hurt you, please understand that they do this to people because they don't know how to handle their own pain. It's genuinely not meant to be a judgment of anybody else. It's just, that's what they do. It's how they self-protect. This is one of the cards of self-protection. 3 of Pentacles. If it's a work connection in particular, because it's got like, there's no definitive, this is a romantic connection energy on this one. Just that there's something that goes on with this person's emotional processing and something that sparks their creativity as well. Like they may have a creative bent to them where the only way they can really get in touch with that energy is to withdraw firmly into self. So like, here's the thing. They ghost everybody regularly and then they come back. They're just that person. They're just that person. So what would that mean if it's a romantic relationship? Well, like you'd have to do a lot of work beforehand before any formal commitments, but they're not gone. They're just not gone. They're gone for right now. Protection. It's self-protection. Self-protection. Success. Yay. Magical power, and then let go with karmic justice on the right. This is a card of timing. Hey, pile number 3. This is the most straightforward. Why did they ghost? Because that's what they do. They ghost. They ghost people. They withdraw into self. They stop. Their inner world shuts down in their ability to communicate with others as they try and explore their own, again, their own world. Their own world. They do it for inspiration sometimes. They do it to recharge. They are deeply introverted. Like, oh, this is an introvert. Like, whoa. And it's just how they deal. It's just how they cope. It's something to either make peace with or to understand, like, listen, this is going to drive me crazy. I can't accept this part about you. But that's for you to determine as to what you would really like to have happen going forward. Recognize despair as an opportunity. It really genuinely is how they cope. It's just a coping mechanism that it's weird because I want to call it unhealthy. In so many people it would be unhealthy. It's not here. It's how they figure things out for themselves. They don't actually like another person giving them much advice. They don't actually like to talk about their feelings. They like to sit with them. They like to be in their feelings until they're through their feelings. Success and happiness are coming, and then you're caught up in drama. That was the second success card on this one, and happiness. So pile number 3, there is not a ton to say on this particular one. This is a coping tool that this particular individual possesses. It fuels their own creativity. It helps them see the world differently. But they need to get the heck away from people. And the whole temptation may lead you astray thing. The only thing that I've gotten at is that if this is the type of, because again, I don't actually have a romantic connection card on this card. If this is the type of thing that you just, it's like, no, that makes me too insecure, you need to communicate it to people. Meaning that if when they come back, if you're like, do you know how bad that made me feel? You need to let them know that. But understand that they're not trying to do it to you. It's something that they're trying to do for themselves. And that to state your needs, and that the best this person will ever be able to do, because it is a primary coping tool for them, is to let you know, I have to do it. I have to go into hermit mode. I have to block everybody out. It's what I do. It's how I cope. It's how I've always coped. And I've tried every single other method to try and not have it be my coping mechanism, but it's my coping mechanism. And it really helps me. There is absolutely no ill will on this. Compassion. And again, that's what I would urge on this one too. Resolution. Being pulled in 2 different directions on this one. Manifest, and then we've got push-pull love spread on the back. First indication that it's a romantic kind of connection. It might actually be a work connection too. Pile number 3, I can keep looking at cards on this one as long as you want me to, and I will pull a couple more. But I think what you need to hear is, listen, this might hurt you personally. It is just part of who this person is. And if your honest response is, I can't take it, then you need to talk to them about, okay, I get it, you have to do this, and you don't want to change it because it works for you. Then you need to let them know, let me know when you're about to do that. I can take it if I understand you'll be back. And so if they send you a text saying, hey, I'm going into hermit mode, I'm going into isolation mode, I'm just going to be hanging out with me, I got to recharge, then you won't be sitting there going, when are they coming back, when are they coming back, when are they coming back? And that's the thing that they don't know to do yet. They don't know that there's a lot of people who'd be like, oh, it's cool with me, all right, fine, cool, enjoy your hermit time. When you're back, be back. Improving health, it's how they heal. It's how they heal. I'm so sorry. It's like, if you're not prepared for it, that would be a really hard thing to confront. Opportunity. They do it. They choose a new direction, which is a crossroads energy, and look for a sign. Hey, pile number 3. I am not trying to make light of any pain you might have felt from this, because it looks like it confused the crap out of you. It's like, what did I do? Nothing. This does not have its origin point in you. It has its origin point with, they lived in the type of family where it was not safe to be vulnerable around other people, and so they learned to go into their little cave and to stay in there until they felt better. And it is how they productively process their feelings. And it's not meant to be an exclusion or a judgment. And it's something that if you want to have any type of connection with this person going forward, we can't change some fundamental things, and this appears to be a fundamental thing. It really is a coping skill that works for them. And it is about sadness and being around other people making them sadder too. They're not everybody feels better when they talk about their feelings with other people. And that's what this person on the table is like. They want to sit with their feelings. They want to be in their feelings. They won't want to feel judged by their feelings. They don't want to justify their feelings. They just want to go and be in their feeling place. And that's what happens to this person. And they are like, it's not permanent. Like when you least expect it, you're going to turn around and be like, there they are again. And the only reason that you're getting this message is so that you're not angry. Because the only thing that they have here is that they act like it's not that big a deal because they don't know how to prepare people for it. So when they come back, you kind of have to let them know that don't ever leave me hanging like that again. I don't mind if you need to go into sanctuary in order to cope, but that made me feel awful. Let them know. Let them know. Because they actually will, like, they learn how to help lessen that blow. But like, if they could tell you anything, it would be like, I just don't want to talk to anybody. And it's not you that I don't want to talk to. It's how I deal with me. We have magic stream, which is being in flow. Wide open. I like that one. And then solitude. I'm so sorry I'm laughing because it's not meant to be funny here. It's just that this poor person, it's how they heal. It's how they heal. It's how they heal. And I'm laughing because it's what I do. And it's never ever about another person. And that's what you need to understand is that, is it a poor coping tool for this person? Hey, listen, it's not the one we're told it's supposed to work. But it works for this particular individual. File number 3, not only are they coming back at some point, you need to understand this is how they operate. And until you let them know, that was awful, they won't understand I need to compensate by letting you know beforehand next time that I need to go in hermit mode. And it always follows like a 2 to 3 month thing for them. They go through cycles. Are they bipolar? They do not appear to be bipolar, but it is their emotional coping tool. Okay? So pile number 3, that was a pretty straightforward one. The thing is that they will apologize. It's just that if you want them to change it, they can't. And so that's something to take into advisement. It is part of their emotional structure and how they learn to cope. And it makes them feel better because that person is really, 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 really introverted. and it's how they recharge, okay? But they're coming back, and you will get, it looks like an electronic communication from them within the next 90 days, okay? If you want to book me for a private reading, you can do so at therisingmoon.com exclusively. I have a podcast, Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button and all of that fun stuff. But that was your reading. Let go of this as a personal slight. It's just a person's beyond mainstream coping tool that bits you in the butt a little bit. And when they come back, all you have to do is let them know how it made you feel. And they will compensate for it, but they can't eradicate it because it is a part of them. Okay? Take care. Be well. Welcome back. Hey, if you chose pile number 4, this is your reading. We're putting number 4 over there so that people can easily fast forward to their readings, but there are always timestamps in the description box down below. We're using the Dragon Tarot for your predicted cards. Let me adjust this ever so slightly because it looks like it's slightly off kilter. All right, let's get going here. Hey guys, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It helps my channel as well. If you need to find me for a private reading, you can do so exclusively at therisingmoon.com. That is linked in the description box. Let's get going. Why'd they ghost? Why did they block? This has been an interesting one and a fairly rapid one. They have not been super, super complicated. I cannot guarantee that this is a romantic relationship. I had one just now that might not have been. Let's get going here. All right, we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, which is a drained feeling, an energy vampire type of feeling. It can be a transactional relationship. It's an odd one. Chariot in the upright being pulled in 2 different directions. All right, I have the 7 of Wands in reverse, which is a surrender energy. I have the Ace of Swords in the upright, which is clarity and communication. Oh my goodness. And then I have the 4 of Wands in reverse, which is an attachment energy. This one's not got the strongest energy on it. It's a very draining relationship. All right, I have the Sun in reverse, which can be about new cycles beginning. It can also be about depression. It comes out with the Knight of Cups in reverse, which is a self-love energy. I have the 6 of Cups in the upright, which is kindness, generosity. It can be nostalgia. It's usually about past life connections and what we're trying to learn from them. This comes out with the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, which is letting something go. And then that one comes out with the 8 of Wands in the upright. And our clarifier cards are the Page of Swords in the upright, which is a communication as well. And then I have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, which is another, like, you know, let go and trust the process energy. This one's a little complicated. So this is like an unbalanced relationship. One person who wants to give everything and another person who's very, like, they're just not in that space. They're a little bit like they have a lot of issues around their ability to connect. And it looks like they just weren't they weren't able to be all in on this. That it wasn't what they were really looking for. And that they felt drained by the connection and they didn't invest the energy in explaining that. And that does not mean you did anything wrong. It means that they have this kind of limited ability to connect with other people. And so they do this. They have this kind of intense connection with somebody at first. It's really passionate. There's a lot of everything, and then it's very brief and they kind of take a powder. And it is a bit of a thing that it's how they're coping with some things. It's not really serving them. Will you hear from them again? Honestly, it looks like yes, but it looks like you reach out to them. That's what it looks like, is that you try and reach out to them again. So that's kind of what's going on with this person, and are they worth hanging on for? They're not really confronting some things in their world, right? They don't know how to communicate effectively, and so they withdraw. I do not have there is a decent human being inside of this person. This is not like a toxic individual, but they don't really want an emotional connection with a person currently. Like they want to be very, I guess I just want to say erratic. They don't want anybody to depend on people, on them. They really, like, they have a fear of people depending on them. This is a fear card as well. Oh, that's what it is. Boy, they have some attachment issues. They just do. We have engagement ring. Now, hold on. With heartbroken, which is deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, mourning. Axe, breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment, and then stabbed in the back. Heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. What our follow-up card would be is have faith, love is coming. This is not indicative of the relationships that you're going to have going forward. And I'm really sorry because this is not what somebody wants to hear. It's just that we can't give what we don't have. And this person just kind of doesn't have it to give, is the easiest way I have of putting something. That if you're like, I felt really strongly connected to them, that is like, it's likely that you have a couple of things to resolve in the type of love that you will accept. We all do, by the way. That is not in any way a judgment of you. It is just part of being a human being. There's not a bunch I can do to improve on like this in terms of this person has a pattern of doing things. They are not going to change it until they do their work. And they aren't doing that work. They aren't doing that work. They want what they want from a relationship, but they don't know how to give back. And when other people start to have expectations of them, it makes them like they have an avoidant attachment style. They're avoidant. They're avoidant. They're just an avoidant person. And if you have this really high level of connection to them, understand like they need to have a much better like relationship with themselves before they're going to be, because like this thing, they do it over and over. They have a pattern of abandonment. Now it came from abandonment. So they have a damaged attachment style, but this is one that probably try to heal. And do you ever hear from them again? It looks like you reach out to them. It looks like you reach out to them. Do you ever hear back? Give, yeah, that's what I got. Yeah, okay. Celebrate. Healing. And then we have push and pull, love spread. That is like the twin flame type of energy that we've got on that, where you feel very connected to somebody and soar, which is, you're being asked to stop dimming your own light. So, hey, so these cards are a little bit rough because the give and celebrate, it looks to me like you reach out to them around a holiday and that they may respond briefly because they're not going to keep you blocked if they've got you blocked. But this person, they're not doing their work, man. They're just not doing their work to be different than this. And it's not about your worth, it's about the work that they're not doing. And it's not about you not being lovable, it's about them not figuring out how to heal how they love people. There's nothing you could have done differently. It's nothing you did. It's damage that they are sustaining rather than repairing. And it's just, that's kind of what's on the table in this one. We have flowers. Be generous. Success and emotional fulfillment are yours. Beware who you trust. Be careful who you trust at this time. And then I have love. Be careful who you trust in love. With wish on the back, which can be like a wishing card, wishing things were differently. It does say your heart's desires are ready to come true. Unfortunately, it was an underlying issue card. Oh, pile number 4, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry because I hate giving people messages that they don't want to hear. But this person's not doing their healing and they're not fully trustworthy with your heart. And that's just how that is. If someone's not doing their work, if they're not striving to really connect with themselves and with others, pretty much we can't, we can't force that issue into the shape that we want it to be sometimes, you know? But it's not about you. It's about you having so much love to give and wanting to give it to somebody who they're just kind of not in the space to take anything and treat it with the kindness, with the receptivity, with the honor that loving somebody a lot really should be greeted with. And the only thing I can keep saying is, you didn't do this. It isn't about why don't they love me, it's about why don't they want to love. And if you think you can change their mind, they need to heal. They need to heal. And if they don't decide to heal, they're not going to heal. And it's just a really, really hard one. But it really does look like you're the person reaching out. And you might hear something back, but please hear me on this according to my cards. They're just not doing their work. They're not doing their work. That's the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Seven of Pentacles in the upright is the toil and labor card. In reverse, it can mean a variety of things, but one of the things it can mean is somebody who's just not doing their work. That they're not trying to evolve into somebody who can have greater connection. This is enough for them. Like these surface level connections that then they turn around and run away from. They're in an avoidant place and they appear to want to stay in an avoidant place, and that it does not have to do with whether or not you're lovable. It has to do with what they're afraid of and whether or not they're willing to choose it, to choose to heal, to connect in a healthy manner. And this, I know how hard all of this must be to hear, but that's what my cards are saying, is that like stop this pattern of investing in people who don't invest back. Stop the pattern of thinking that if you're available enough or wonderful enough, somebody will love you. You're very, very lovable. But unfortunately, it looks like this is not the first time this happened in terms of I really cared about somebody and they didn't meet me at the same level. And that's the lesson that you're being asked to learn. And this person, they're in their shadow side is one of the things that we can talk about with the sun in reverse. They just are not doing their shadow work. We have success and perseverance. It did come out in reverse, but I don't normally read them in reverse. Let's keep going. Soulmate. It's not this one. And why am I saying that with such confidence? I have very few cups on this table. I have a lot of pentacles. I have some fire. The only cups I have are past issues and then self-love. And that the whole thing, and I did a whole podcast on it, you have to love yourself first and what it really means. I'll try to remember to link it on this particular one. Pausing to reflect. And then we have destructive behaviors. One last one. We have achievement and success again with dominating relationship on the back. Okay, so we're going to put this guy down. That's the underlying issues. Somebody in this connection is trying to heal from early emotional abuse. It may be you, pile number 4. It may be you. Because when you're in a healed space, if somebody treats you like this, they ghost you, they don't treat you like you're important, or like, you're writing them walls of text and they're replying with 2 lines, like you recognize that as not being worthy of you and you let it go rather than being like, please pick me instead. Like, I'm great, I love you. You would only really love somebody who is like, I cannot believe I'm so lucky that I get to be with you. Because you are all in for the people that you care about. But this person is not, because that's not what they're in this for. And there's literally nothing that we can do to change somebody. They have to change for themselves. Breakup, separation, stop the pattern. Only we can choose to heal our stuff and have different outcomes. It really looks to me like, this is just going to be part of a process for you where, like, I'm sorry because I know this is painful. And trust me, I am in no way trying to hurt you on any level, but my cards are not very positive on this one. My cards are like, this is a destructive pattern that sometimes we all fall into. That we get our self-worth wrapped up in whether or not somebody wants us back. And your self-worth is within you. You have a wonderful, loving heart. You just want to give it to a person who's not a trustworthy custodian of that particular heart through no fault of yours. Through no fault of yours. There's nothing you could have done differently. There's no different version of you that you could have been. This is this person's internal damage. It's their shadow work. There's nothing you can do to make them do their own work. Okay? I'm really, really sorry, pile number 4. I understand that, hopefully you just watch this seeking some answers, and just please, I'm so sorry to hurt you on any level. But this is what my cards are saying. Epiphany. Well, I'm going to stop. So, epiphanies are about divine intervention and revelations and showing you a truth. And the truth on this one is that if you love somebody who makes you chase their love and approval, eventually you get tired and it feels terrible. And this person, it isn't about you being lovable. It's about them not knowing how to love. And it's not something you can teach them because they don't currently want to learn it. And to please not make that about your worth, because it's about their inability to accept that something in them needs to change, because for them it doesn't feel like it needs to change. They're not looking for a high level of connection emotionally, and when they do find it, they just run away from it, which may be what you experienced with them. But I did not have enough of an emotional connection on their side that has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them being avoidant. They have an avoidant attachment style. I'm super, super sorry, pile number 4. Heal, and a real love will come to you. Heal, and then you won't ever, ever accept anything other than great treatment, because you have a great heart and you're trying to give it to somebody. And if they say no thank you, say, okay, well that just proves you're not worthy of it. And on you go if you can. And I'm super sorry because I know how painful it is. But heal and do some attachment removals, and everything's free on YouTube. You can find it all over the place. Try to heal from this one, because it doesn't look like they want to change. And that's the key. They don't want to change. And it's not because they don't want to change for you. They just don't want to change. Okay? I'm super sorry. Take care. Be well.